Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine, and it is the holiday season. That means we're talking about Christmas and Christmas shopping. We've got a great lesson for you today.
Exactly. So we're going to be looking for a Christmas gift. And so let's listen to our dialogue for the first time, and we'll be back to explain some words. Bill, you gotta help me.
What's wrong? Slow down, or you're gonna give yourself a heart attack.
Tomorrow's Christmas, and I haven't bought my mom anything. I'm such a bad son.
Take it easy. Let's go to the mall, window shop a little, and see if there's anything she might like.
That's just it. I don't know what to get her. Last year, I got her a ring that was 2 sizes too big, and a pair of shoes 5 sizes too small. I suck at getting presents for people.
That's where you're making a big mistake. You can't just guess people's likes or sizes, especially with clothes or jewelry. On top of that, I think that you should get your mom something that shows how much you love her. At the same time, you should show her that you took the time and effort to look for something that she would really like.
Yeah, you're right. When it comes down to it, I can be pretty tacky.
Yeah, tell me about it. I know. Your mom is trying to learn Spanish, right? Why don't you get her a gift certificate for this great website I saw called Spanish Pod?
Now that's a great idea. All right, we're back. So now why don't we take a look at language takeaway?
Language takeaway.
Okay, so there are a lot of interesting words in this dialogue. Some of them have to do with Christmas and some of them have to do with shopping. So this first one has to do with neither. It's actually a phrase. It's a medical term.
Right. He talked about a heart attack.
Okay, so you know what a heart is, but a heart attack is when there's no more blood going into your heart and your heart stops beating.
Okay.
Very, very dangerous situation.
So the person actually said this because the other guy was like, Bill, you gotta help me. He was all very excited. So he's like, whoa, slow down or you're gonna give yourself a heart attack. So it's not literal, right?
Yeah, it's not a real heart attack. He's saying, calm down.
Calm down.
Okay.
All right. And well, he was very upset because he hadn't bought a gift. And he said, I suck at getting presents for people.
I suck at getting presents for people. Well, suck is not a very polite word. My mom used to get angry at me when I used it, but it's a way to say that I'm very, very bad at doing something. Okay.
Right.
So I suck at playing tennis.
All right. Or you could say, I suck at math.
All right. But again, this is not something you should use on a test or in an essay because it's very spoken colloquial English.
Right. Exactly. And this other word is actually okay to use. And when you're talking about presents or you're talking about decorations, you say something is tacky.
Okay, well, if you call something tacky, this is an adjective, so something is tacky, it's really a matter of opinion.
Right.
Okay, so I think this is tacky, but you don't. Maybe that's a problem. So let me give you an example of tacky. I think that clothing with lots of bows and glitter and shiny things are very tacky.
Okay, so it's something that you don't really like or you think that is a little bit strange.
That's right.
So as you say, it's an opinion because you think that clothes with bows and teddy bears on it is tacky. Well, somebody else can think, no, it's cute. It's nice.
Exactly. You can also describe things that people do as being tacky. So for example, he gave me a present, but he left the price on it.
Oh,
That's so tacky.
Right, that is tacky. All right, so the word is tacky. And moving on, we talked about a gift certificate. You should get your mom a gift certificate.
Well, a gift certificate is a very popular form of gift giving now. You know what a gift is, but a certificate is a piece of paper. Okay, so you could have a birth certificate, for example. It says when you were born, where you were born. But in this case, a gift certificate is a piece of paper that you give someone to say, you have this much money to spend at this store. So I could give my mom a gift certificate for a bookstore for $50, and she can go with this piece of paper and spend $50 for free.
Okay.
Because I already paid.
Yeah, so it's kind of a very popular thing to do because sometimes, as in the dialogue, you don't know the person's size or you don't know if they like this color. So you're just like, look, here's, a gift certificate for $100. Go to the store that I know you really like and get yourself whatever you want, something nice.
Exactly.
But it's less tacky than giving that person cash, right?
Right. Cash is considered a tacky gift.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure why. It just is. It's a social custom, but very popular right now are these gift certificates or even gift cards. They look like credit cards.
Very good. All right. So why don't we listen to our dialogue again, and we'll return shortly to take a look at Fluency Builder.
Bill, you gotta help me. What's wrong? Slow down or you're gonna give yourself a heart attack.
Tomorrow's Christmas and I haven't bought my mom anything. I'm such a bad son.
Take it easy. Let's go to the mall, window shop a little, and see if there's anything she might like.
That's just it. I don't know what to get her. Last year I got her a ring that was 2 sizes too big and a pair of shoes 5 sizes too small. I suck at getting presents for people.
That's where you're making a big mistake. You can't just guess people's likes or sizes, especially with clothes or jewelry. On top of that, I think that you should get your mom something that shows how much you love her. At the same time, you should show her that you took the time and effort to look for something that she would really like.
Yeah, you're right. When it comes down to it, I can be pretty tacky.
Yeah, tell me about it. I know. Your mom is trying to learn Spanish, right? Why don't you get her a gift certificate for this great website I saw called Spanish Pod?
Now that's a great idea. All right, we're back. So now why don't we take a look at 4 key phrases on Fluency Builder.
Fluency builder.
Okay, I like this first phrase. Sometimes I have to use it about other people. Sometimes people use it on me. You say, take it easy.
Take it easy. Hey, take it easy. Relax.
Yeah, this is a way to say, hey, be calm.
Be calm.
Yeah.
So there's no, you can't really translate it, right? What take what easy?
You can't, but
So it's just a phrase.
There are 2 main contexts. Okay, there are 2 situations where this is really popular.
Mm-hmm.
One is this. Oh my God, Marco. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. I really need your help on this, and I really need you to just be involved.
Take it easy, all right? Relax. Take it easy.
Okay. All right, so that's someone who's upset, and you're telling them to calm down.
Mm-hmm.
The second situation is when you're saying goodbye to someone. This is a very kind of, again, spoken language, very comfortable way of saying, hey, see you later.
Right, so it's like, all right, bye, take it easy.
Yeah, take it easy. Have a good one.
Yeah,
It's a
have
way
a
to
good
say-
one is another good.
Take
Right.
it easy. That means,
Take life easy. Don't
rush.
Don't rush.
Yeah.
Enjoy your life.
So if you try this with your English speaking friends, you're saying goodbye. You say, hey, take it easy.
Yeah, bye. Take
Bye.
it easy.
It's a nice one.
Very nice. All right, and our second phrase is actually, it's interesting because when he talked about the ring that he got for her mom that was 2 sizes too big and a pair of shoes 5 sizes too small. So the construction there, 2 sizes too big, 5 sizes too small.
This is a very important construction, and it doesn't quite make sense when you hear it. So that's what we're going to explain right now. Let me try to explain this using an example.
Okay.
If I have a size 7 shoe
Uh-huh.
and my brother gives me a Christmas present of size 9 shoes, I say, Peter, these shoes are 2 sizes too big.
Right.
Okay, that's the number 2. 2 sizes, TOO, too big. That means they're too big for me by 2 sizes.
Okay.
Because the difference between 7 and 9 is 2.
Right.
But if he gives me a size 5 shoe, say, Peter, these shoes are 2 sizes too small.
Mm-hmm.
That means that, 5 is 2 less than 7. So this is a very popular construction.
So you're saying specifically how much bigger or how much smaller the shoes are in the case with the ring or shoes or anything that has a size.
Exactly. But the funny thing is you can also exaggerate. You could say, oh, this sweater is so ugly. It's 10 sizes too big for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really
It's
10
not really
sizes.
right. So, but you can use this construction, right? Using 1 size too big, etc. Even when you're buying something to the store, to the lady in the store, you can say, oh, I think this shoe is 2 sizes too big. Can you give me a smaller pair?
Exactly.
All right. And our third phrase for today, when the person said, yeah, you're right. When it comes down to it, I can be pretty tacky. So we looked at tacky, but what does he mean when it comes down to it?
Okay, well, it is very confusing sometimes when we talk about phrases in English.
Mhm.
But when it comes down to it is a way to say, in reality, or actually, or the truth is, yes.
Mhm.
So it's a way to say something is truthful.
Okay, so I can say, when it comes down to it, Catherine is a good friend.
Oh,
Right? So when times are tough or in the end, or actually maybe you have your small faults, but you are a good friend.
Right. Or when it comes down to it, Marco is a really hard worker. So sometimes he likes to play video games, but when it's really important, he will work really hard.
Very good. So very good uses of this phrase, and you can use it in many different contexts. And for our fourth phrase, when the person said, yeah, tell me about it. What does it mean, tell me about it? Tell me about what?
Okay, well, this is a really very popular phrase. You hear this all the time, and it's a way to say, yeah, I agree.
I understand.
Okay? I understand. So this is a phrase that means agreement. Okay, so I could say, God, I really hate winter because when I leave work, it's always really dark.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's always dark and it makes me feel lazy.
Right. And so Marco is agreeing. He says, I don't like it either. Yeah. So this is a very, very spoken language way of agreeing with someone. So you say, yeah, tell me about it.
Right. So it's very natural. It's a very natural way of agreeing with someone, right?
Exactly.
All right. So great phrases. Why don't we take a look at our dialogue for the last time, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more.
Bill, you gotta help me. What's wrong? Slow down or you're gonna give yourself a heart attack.
Tomorrow's Christmas and I haven't bought my mom anything. I'm such a bad son.
Take it easy. Let's go to the mall, window shop a little, and see if there's anything she might like.
That's just it. I don't know what to get her. Last year I got her a ring that was 2 sizes too big and a pair of shoes 5 sizes too small. I suck at getting presents for people.
That's where you're making a big mistake. You can't just guess people's likes or sizes, especially with clothes or jewelry. On top of that, I think that you should get your mom something that shows how much you love her. At the same time, you should show her that you took the time and effort to look for something that she would really like.
Yeah, you're right. When it comes down to it, I can be pretty tacky.
Yeah, tell me about it. I know. Your mom is trying to learn Spanish, right? Why don't you get her a gift certificate for this great website I saw called Spanish Pod?
Now that's a great idea.
All right, great. So now that the all right, so as we said, gift certificates are a good idea, but what else do you like to give as Christmas presents?
Personally, I like things that people really think about and spend their time doing or making. So I like, for example, my mom is a beautiful quilter. She makes these big blankets and quilts them. And sometimes she even quilts names of people and stuff. And so those are really wonderful gifts because they're, the person thinks about you and who you are and what you want. And so I like to be able to give gifts like that, but I'm not necessarily that creative. So, I think it's nice to give gifts like tickets to a music show or things like that, where the person will go and have a good time and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, I think that's really important because sometimes people just give gifts because you have to. But
Stuff.
like stuff, and you're like, oh, great, a tie. It's like kind of impersonal.
Yeah.
At the same time, if your dad or your boyfriend or somebody loves ties and has 50 of them, and you get them another one that's really interesting or unique, then great, But it is good to take the time to get somebody something they really like or they would really use or enjoy.
Today we're talking about something we talk about every year.
Every year after Christmas or during the Christmas holidays, we talk about New Year's Day, and a very important topic, New Year's resolutions.
All right. So we're not going to preview anything today. It's all in the dialogue. But when we come back, we'll be talking more about what you hear and some of the great phrases you can use at the new year.
Did you read this? It says that the number one New Year resolution people make is to spend more time with friends and family.
Why would that be funny?
Well, think about it. We are a society that is always on the go. Not because we have to, but because we want to.
Why?
We work hard and spend less time at home because we are trying to provide for our family with goods and services that are usually unnecessary.
I don't agree, but anyways, I think you should start thinking of a New Year's resolution yourself.
What's the point? We always make New Year's resolutions, and by February, we will have forgotten about them. It's pointless.
Well, maybe then you should resolve to sticking to your goals and objectives.
What about you? Your gym bag is gathering dust, and you still have brand new running shoes that are yet to be jogged in.
Well, I would go if you kept your promise of going to the gym with me every day.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, great. We're back. So this is very typical, a New Year's resolution that you make, but then people don't really stick to it, etc.
They don't?
Usually they don't. All right, but you're probably wondering what is a New Year's resolution. So why don't we take a look at this word and many more on Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, so New Year's resolution, let's break this phrase down. The first phrase is New Year's. So the New Year is January 1st in the West, and it is celebrated on the 31st of December at night when the clock changes to the New Year. And a New Year's resolution, remember that S there, is something that you want to do or to change in the new year. It's a fresh start.
Okay, so you pretty much, the verb that you use there is to resolve to do something. So my New Year's resolution is to, go to the gym every day.
It's like a promise to yourself.
Right. So, and this is very common, right, among Americans. They try because it's a new year, it's a fresh start, so they want to start doing something great.
Exactly. We can talk about this at the end, but a lot of companies try to use this to sell Americans stupid things. So
All right.
We'll get there in a minute. But the two people in this dialogue are talking about the idea of spending more time with friends and family. And the other person says, well, sometimes it's hard to do that because you have to provide your family with goods and services.
All right.
This phrase goods and services is very common, especially in economics and sociology. So what does this mean?
And they go together, right? So goods are tangible items, things that you buy, like food or, clothes, a TV, etc. Stuff. And services, of course, are other things like, for example, going to the doctor or the dentist or any other service you get.
So service usually includes another person doing something for you. But you might not actually get something physical like a TV if you pay for it.
Right.
So goods and services, it's included in this phrase, always goods and services.
Very good. And well, moving on, as we mentioned with the New Year's resolution, we had that verb there, to resolve. So what does it mean if I want to resolve?
Okay, well, to resolve, as we said, is to decide or to promise yourself to do something. So it's a decision that you don't want to change your mind about. For example, this year, I've resolved to quit smoking. That means I've made a decision for myself and I'm going to do it.
Okay, very good.
It's very strong.
And not to be confused with to solve, right? It has no real relation there, right?
No, resolve to do something is to have a strong passion or interest in doing something for yourself or changing an action.
Very good. And well, our last word for language takeaway is brand new. Something that's brand new.
Brand new. So buy a brand new car. Come down to Catherine's car lot. So brand new is something we hear a lot in marketing. It's also something that these words just go together very often. And something is new. Okay, you just bought it or it just came out. But something that's brand new is really fresh, really new.
So brand new, a brand new car, a brand new watch, etc. A brand new movie.
A brand new movie or brand new cereal. Have you ever tried it?
Very good. So great phrases there. Very good. So great words there. Why don't we listen to the dialogue again? And we'll be back with 3 phrases.
Did you read this? It says that the number one New Year resolution people make is to spend more time with friends and family.
Why would that be funny?
Well, think about it. We are a society that is always on the go. Not because we have to, but because we want to.
Why?
We work hard and spend less time at home because we are trying to provide for our family with goods and services that are usually unnecessary.
I don't agree, but anyways, I think you should start thinking of a New Year's resolution yourself.
What's the point? We always make New Year's resolutions, and by February, we will have forgotten about them. It's pointless.
Well, maybe then you should resolve to sticking to your goals and objectives.
What about you? Your gym bag is gathering dust, and you still have brand new running shoes that are yet to be jogged in.
Well, I would go if you kept your promise of going to the gym with me every day.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, we're back. So now let's take a look at these 3 phrases on Fluency Builder.
Fluency builder.
Okay, this first phrase is very common at gas stations and food, like fast food chains. We say on the go.
All right. So he mentioned that we are a society that is always on the go. It means we're always moving.
Exactly. So you're always going to work, going home from work, going to the store, going to the school to get the kids, always moving, moving, moving. So that kind of action, that kind of life is on the go.
Okay.
You can also say eat on the go. That means I eat while I'm going somewhere, while I'm doing something. I don't sit down.
Okay. So on the go. And well, talking about New Year's resolution, and we said that, well, many people resolve to do something, but they don't really do it. And we have a phrase that is used here, to stick to something. Stick to your resolution.
To stick to it. So you think of tape or glue, these things that help things stick together. Okay. So in that sense, it's kind of, it's a way for you to describe continuing to do something or not stopping, not quitting, not ending it. And so I could say, remember how I said I wanted to quit smoking? Well, I'm really going to stick to this resolution because I think it's important. That means I'm not going to give up.
Right. Very good. So you're going to stay with it. You're not going to give up. All right. So stick to something, like, for example, our English learners, they'll stick to learning English.
And we could say as words of encouragement, hey, stick to it.
Stick to it. Don't give up.
With it. Don't give up.
All right. And, well, finally, they were discussing, or more arguing about the gym membership and everything. And he mentioned that the gym bag is gathering dust.
All right. This is a very nice phrase, I think, because it's very visual. I like phrases where you can see what's happening. So gathering means collecting. That means, that the dust in the air, it's building on this bag. And something is gathering dust if we don't use it.
So we haven't gone to the gym because our bag is in the corner and it's just filled with dust.
Exactly. We could also say this about the computer. Why should I buy you a new computer, Marco, if you never use the old one? That's just sitting in the house gathering dust.
Very good. Okay. So it's another way of saying you never use it, you never do it, etc.
Exactly.
For an object, though, you can't say you are gathering dust.
No,
Right?
well, that'd be a little weird. You might be dead or...
All right. Great phrases. So why don't we listen to this dialogue one last time?
Did you read this? It says that the number one New Year resolution people make is to spend more time with friends and family.
Why would that be funny?
Well, think about it. We are a society that is always on the go. Not because we have to, but because we want to.
Why?
We work hard and spend less time at home because we are trying to provide for our family with goods and services that are usually unnecessary.
I don't agree, but anyways, I think you should start thinking of a New Year's resolution yourself.
What's the point? We always make New Year's resolutions, and by February, we will have forgotten about them. It's pointless.
Well, maybe then you should resolve to sticking to your goals and objectives.
What about you? Your gym bag is gathering dust, and you still have brand new running shoes that are yet to be jogged in.
Well, I would go if you kept your promise of going to the gym with me every day.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, we're back. And well, as you mentioned, there were some interesting things about this dialogue, especially when they talked about a society that's always on the go. And you mentioned that, well, sometimes you eat on the go. And I've seen people in the United States that are actually eating while driving.
I'm guilty of doing that.
Really?
Yeah.
Have no time to actually sit down for like 15 minutes and eat.
No, I remember being in high school at home and, you just have so much stuff to do. You have school, then after school, there's soccer practice. After that, there's music lessons and you never have time to eat. So you have to grab food in the car. And then on the way home, you're picking things up and you get home and you do your homework or whatever. There's so much stuff to do and it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop when you grow up. It doesn't stop as if you're an older person. It's the way life is in America.
Wow. Yeah. That's really interesting because I think many of our listeners that are in other countries would find that a little bit peculiar if they actually went to the United States and saw somebody in their car, like having a hamburger while driving, and sipping on their soda.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, actually.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have much time. But actually, this is based on true events, kind of, on the fact that many Americans do want to spend more time at home with their friends, with their family, because, as you say, you're always so busy.
And I think it's a nice resolution to resolve to have dinner with your family once or twice a week at home where you sit down and you talk about your lives. It's nice because you get to share and you get to know each other better. And, otherwise you're always just on the go in different places.
Yeah, exactly.
Today we have a very exciting elementary lesson for you.
That's right. We are going to take our clothes to the dry cleaners.
Oh, okay, so that means we have some dirty clothes. They need to be cleaned. Let's listen to this dialogue one time, and when we come back, we'll be talking about the words and phrases that you hear in it.
Thank God you were open. I have an emergency.
Hello, Mr. Henderson. What can I do for you?
I need this dress and this suit dry cleaned ASAP.
Okay, I can have it ready by the end of the week.
No, you don't understand. I need this tomorrow morning. I accidentally spilled beer all over my wife's dress, and we have a wedding to attend tomorrow. She's gonna kill me.
Okay, I can have it ready tomorrow afternoon, but this suit is also very stained. I can't guarantee we can remove it completely.
Fine. Can you also iron and starch this shirt?
Certainly.
Great. This is our secret. If you see my wife, say nothing to her about this.
All right, we're back. So now there are probably a couple of words that you didn't understand. So why don't we look at those now in language takeaway?
Language takeaway.
Marco, you already told our listeners about one phrase, to dry clean. So dry cleaned.
All right, so that's when you take your clothes to a professional who doesn't only wash them, right? You don't just put water and soap on it. They actually put some special chemicals and use special machines to get very hard to remove stains from it.
Exactly. And so this is often what we use when we clean coats or fancy shirts and dresses, because you don't want to clean those yourself.
Right, you can't put those in the washing machine.
No. So this is the dry cleaner. That's the name of the place. And the action, what they do is they dry clean clothes.
Okay, very good. All right, well, I mentioned that we take them to the dry cleaners because we want to remove stains.
Okay, so a stain is a mark or some color that does not come off, does not go away.
All right, so for example, sometimes you can have a wine stain.
Ooh, wine stains are the worst. They're red and they never come off. Or blood stain.
Or blood stain.
Ooh.
Right, so a stain is a noun, but you can also use it as an adjective. My shirt is stained.
Okay, so it's stained. My pants are stained and I can't wear them again.
Again, now you can also use it as a verb. I stained my pants.
All right.
So it's a verb, it's a noun, and an adjective all in one.
Easy to remember. Well, there's another word that's, related to this word. We spilled something, okay? So I spilled wine and it stained my shirt.
Okay, so to spill. And that means that you took some liquid and you put it onto your clothes.
Or you dropped it and it made a mess. Okay,
right.
So I spilled some milk.
Okay, spilled. Now, it's pronounced differently from spell, right?
That's right,
It has
spill.
an I, spilled. All right, now our next word is also a noun and a verb, to iron.
To iron means to make something flat with no lines, okay? To smooth it out. So we use an iron to iron.
Exactly.
It's
So
the metal electronic object.
it gets very hot. So you wash your shirts, for example, and your shirts are wrinkled because you just washed them. So you need to iron them.
That's right. And so you smooth them out, you flatten them with this object, an iron.
Okay. And, well, usually, if you take them to the dry cleaners, they will iron them and also starch them.
Okay, so to starch something means to use some powder or chemical to make something stiff or hard.
So the noun or the chemical is also called starch.
Exactly. So you think of a shirt with many buttons that a man wears to work. He has a collar around his neck, and that needs to be high and tall. It can't be flat and wrinkled. And so a dry cleaner will use starch to make sure that this stands up.
Okay, very good. So those are 5 key words for the dialogue today. Let's listen to the dialogue again, and we'll be back with Fluency Builder.
Thank God you were open. I have an emergency.
Hello, Mr. Henderson. What can I do for you?
I need this dress and this suit dry cleaned ASAP.
Okay, I can have it ready by the end of the week.
No, you don't understand. I need this tomorrow morning. I accidentally spilled beer all over my wife's dress, and we have a wedding to attend tomorrow. She's gonna kill me.
Okay, I can have it ready tomorrow afternoon, but this suit is also very stained. I can't guarantee we can remove it completely.
Fine.
Can you also iron and starch this shirt?
Certainly.
Great. This is our secret. If you see my wife, say nothing to her about this.
All right, we're back now, so let's take a look at Fluency Builder.
Thank God.
Thank God. All right, what is this phrase? Thank God.
Okay, this is a phrase we use in English to say that we're happy about something or that we're relieved. Okay. So maybe I'm nervous that the mail isn't going to come today. And then the mail comes and I say, "Oh, thank God. The mail came." Yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy. I was hoping it would come.
So you're relieved. Thank God. Now, is it we are using the word there, God, but it doesn't really have a religious connotation that much, right?
Not anymore. No.
It's usually just a phrase.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, what about this acronym ASAP or ASAP?
ASAP. So as soon as possible.
Okay.
It's an acronym. So the first letter comes from the word. It means as soon as possible, very quickly, right away.
You always hear that in an office setting as well. I need those papers ASAP. I need those reports ASAP.
Exactly. So you can say it either way, ASAP or ASAP, and it means immediately.
Okay. And he said that he needed the suit ASAP, and he said, I can have it ready by the end of the week.
Okay, so that might not be fast enough for the client, for the person here who has the stain, but the end of the week is a very, very useful phrase because it means that maybe today's Monday or Tuesday, by Friday or Saturday, we'll have this ready for you.
Okay.
Because we think of the end of the week as Friday, maybe Thursday, Friday.
So I can say the end of the week or the end of the day.
Exactly, the end of the month.
Or the end of the year.
Exactly. So the end of is usually
the
the last time. So
Okay.
Thank goodness it's the end of the week. I'm ready for my weekend.
Very good. Okay. So great phrases there as well. Let's listen to the dialogue for the last time.
Thank God you were open. I have an emergency.
Hello, Mr. Henderson. What can I do for you?
I need this dress and this suit dry cleaned ASAP.
Okay, I can have it ready by the end of the week.
No, you don't understand. I need this tomorrow morning. I accidentally spilled beer all over my wife's dress, and we have a wedding to attend tomorrow. She's gonna kill me.
Okay, I can have it ready tomorrow afternoon, but this suit is also very stained. I can't guarantee we can remove it completely.
Fine. Can you also iron and starch this shirt?
Certainly.
Great. This is our secret. If you see my wife, say nothing to her about this.
All right, we're back. So now, dry cleaning, ironing. Are you good at this, or do you get a lot of your clothes dry cleaned?
I'm pretty good at this, actually. I don't like to wash clothes. I get really bored with the washing machine, but I actually really like ironing.
Really?
Yeah, I find it very relaxing.
Really? I usually find it very frustrating.
Really? Why is that?
Because I can't really iron well because I start on one side and I'm getting all the lines out and then the other side gets wrinkled or lines appear where I don't want them to appear. It's very frustrating for me.
It is frustrating. It takes some practice. My suggestion is to use the spritzer. In the iron there's some water that can come out like that. Well, if you spray the water, it makes the lines go out for longer. Right? Because if you iron over that, it's more permanent.
I've also seen some sprays sometimes that you can spray your clothes with some special chemical that's not actually starch, but it helps remove the wrinkles quicker.
Exactly. I don't use that. I use water generally, but they're all available.
All right. So that's all the time we have for today. If you have any questions or comments, you can visit our comment section on englishpod.com, and we'll see you guys there.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.